another edition of iAccelerate Remote, where we speak to founders of businesses that have been working through their startup phase with us here at iAccelerate. And during these strange times that continue on, we've been talking to founders who have been dealing with the issues that are confronting them and trying to understand a little bit better how they've coped with it and some of the insights they've come to find out about it. So today we have April and Rebecca who have joined us, and they're the founders of ExSitu. And I'm going to turn it over to them to explain a little bit more about their business and also how they came to form it. So who would like to start? Rebecca?
Yeah, sure. So ExSitu started originally out of an innovation challenge from the aged care sector with IIT. So April and I between us have over 45 years experience in aged care. We won an innovation challenge and came to iAccelerate in 2017, where we were looking for ways to help people who potentially lose their voice in a care type system and lose their individuality to be more in control of the care they receive. So we have an online advanced care planning platform that helps people to really get thinking about and communicate their values in a way that can be translated into the care they receive should they need it later in life.
So about both of you and how you came to actually become founders, or what made you decide to become founders of this business?
So Rebecca had already touched upon the fact that we have a shared experience of near 45 years in aged care nursing and palliative care background, and we both worked for a large aged care provider back in the day, called Illawarra Retirement Trust, who reached out to the community and also its own staff and said, you know, can you come up with some solutions and business models that could address some real problems in our industry? Beck and I collaborated together because my background was in being a registered nurse and a manager of a large aged care facility. Beck was a carer in both residential and home care, and we both really understood the need to get people communicating what was important to them before they were in crisis. So that was the beginning of ExSitu. We pitched that to the Illawarra Retirement Trust, and then we actually resigned from that organisation and created our own proprietary limited company and worked on to develop the platform and stand on our own 2 feet. And now between us, we're actually delivering that to many aged care providers across the country, which is really nice, in the home care space mainly, and really, really rapidly working towards launching a direct-to-consumer, which we can talk about a little bit more later.
And I think in terms of our journey as entrepreneurs too, it's been an interesting one for us because we have come from the sector, and the reason that we kind of both felt really passionate about being on this entrepreneurial journey is at the heart of being an entrepreneur is solving a problem. And there are so many, challenges that we face, in not just in aged care, but, in society in general. And being an entrepreneur really gives us a chance to start to tackle some of those bigger problems. And we saw this opportunity originally through the Innovation Challenge and then through the support of iAccelerate as well, as really helping us to solve some challenges and some problems that we were really and are really passionate about. So that's kind of what was the driving force behind us becoming entrepreneurs.
For an amazing duo when you came here, and we're into this new world that was so far away from the one you had left. But it was so inspiring to see that you were taking these ideas that you'd had because you'd had first-hand knowledge and were inspired to solve a problem that you knew very well. So we were so encouraged when you came through the program and decided to stick with it and to see yourself through. Obviously, there's some tough times going through that. Maybe using that as a starting point, how did you get to just before the COVID? I mean, at what point were you right before that crisis hit?
We'd been at iAccelerate since sort of late 2017. So we were, a couple of years nearly into our journey where we developed a product, we'd gone out to market with it, we'd learnt that we really had something there and we were starting to get really ready to scale. So we'd done an investment round that we were just closing up, and we were about to go out and build on what we knew worked and really get it out there at a larger scale just before COVID hit. So we had really big plans for 2020. We were really excited about 2020, and we still have really big plans. They're just in some ways very different to what we had originally envisioned. So
April, maybe take us through what's happened since. So COVID, sort of hit us. We saw it coming a little bit, but none of us could have predicted, the overall impact it's had. So how did it affect your business, the way you're thinking about it, and where you're going to go from here?
Just a slight note there. We're watching COVID develop, but I was literally hopping on an aeroplane to South Australia as its borders closed to deliver ExSitu to a provider there, and thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to get back? Am I going to be quarantined, or what's going to happen? So fortunately, we were still able to deliver it, and I did get back. But we have 3 different channels in how we deliver ExSitu, and we have a longer vision and a business plan of how the actual platform will develop. So we were really lucky that we kind of didn't have all our eggs in one basket. Delivering to providers, it was a strong part of our product, but clearly the pressure of COVID on them was enormous, and then the ability to actually bring on new products and services during that time is not something that they would consider palatable, because they're just so under the pump. Luckily, we had already brought ourselves to deliver our product through solicitors and let them actually facilitate our product. But on the other burner was building the platform, which we mentioned before, direct to consumer. So we were able to, where we couldn't be running around face-to-face in aged care facilities with providers, we were actually able to jump on the tools and work on the bug fixing of the direct-to-consumer product, work on the UX design and the product development so that it's Smitho, which is looking quite nice at the moment and only a couple of weeks away before launch.
So Beck, and what have you seen as in your thinking about the business now as opposed to just a few months ago? So what new priorities have you maybe put in place?
I think it's been interesting because the opportunities that we thought we would have this year, some of them became fewer, but certainly others have opened up. Those doors that have opened for us. So we're in the digital health space, and there's a huge boom in digital health right now. So it's sort of some of the things that we thought we might aim for a little later on in our journey have been really brought forward, which is exciting. And, you know, they say one door closes and another opens. So I think that's been really true. The digital health thing's really exciting for us too, because we have, you know, there's always been this, people in health tech know that there's a lot of opportunity for web-based platforms and things to make lives better and health better. And suddenly people have just realised that that we can do this on a large scale, and it doesn't have to just be when there's a pandemic around. So there's kind of these like penny drop moments that we're having as a nation right now that they're just different ways we can ride as entrepreneurs and make the best of it.
That's interesting, isn't it? I think that's a theme that's evolved across a lot of these interviews, is that some people thought it's actually opened up new opportunities that they were maybe waiting on or thinking that might come down the track, and in some ways might have some of those decisions up. And but it may have also built on what you've already been doing, and it sounded like, you know, you had a nice solid base of understanding of your market and where it was going, and the timing was right because of the digital transformation. Looking forward, what do you see as being different in the future as far as the opportunities? Do you think that you'll be basically on the same line you were predicting earlier, just doing it differently, or do you think this is now a whole different future?
It's a whole different future in a positive way. Yeah, I think that there is, we would sometimes travel out to regional Australia, and people got excited about web-based healthcare delivery platforms there because there's accessibility issues in regional Australia that they have to travel a long way to go and visit somebody and things like that. And now what we're seeing with this, you know, digital health boom is that this is opening up doors for regional Australia that will stay open, you know, long after the pandemic has passed, or, you know, after things have settled down. And so I think that for us, that means that we're kind of a lot more relevant, a lot more sooner. And yeah, I definitely think we're on a different path, and it's a positive thing.
How's the day-to-day changed? I mean, April, how does it feel to be, because we all miss being in the office to see each other and have a chance to sometimes talk as we go get our cups of coffee or something. But how has that transformation for the two of you been to work from home and talk to each other, however you're doing it, and also to maybe potential clients or investors?
Well, Zoom's a wonderful thing. I remember I've run out of Bajala pants. I had to go and buy some more, the new corporate look. But look, I think we're really lucky that we use communication channels like Slack a lot, and Zoom conferencing was something we had already done regularly because of the geographic location of a lot of our clients. But even with our software little Maddie, we meet Monday and Friday with her and have a face-to-face just well-being check as well. And it's really nice to make sure that even, for example, if I've got nothing to offer on the development side, I'll still jump in and have a face-to-face with Maddie and ensure that part of the team cohesiveness is continued, because that's I would say even as important as your product development. It's ensuring that everybody feels part of something still, even though you're not face-to-face, if that makes sense.
But how about for you, Beck? Has it changed or altered a lot for you?
Yeah, let's just say that I'm hoping my kids are pretty quiet while we do this interview. So, yeah, it's definitely changed. It's a whole new world. I think that April hit the nail on the head. It's something that we're pretty conscious of, the adapting to the tools like Zoom and, working with contractors remotely and things. They're things we were already doing. It's the interactions, particularly, with like a casual staff member, Maddie, who would only just put on not all that long ago. So we're lucky we had a bit of time in the office for us to get to know each other. But I think it's really important, even just little things like you'll be on a Zoom meeting with someone, you think, I wonder how many people this person I'm speaking to has spoken to today, just checking in with people. And it definitely has changed the day-to-day. And it's like we're sort of a bit more, there's a less of a professional layer between the people that you're dealing with professionally all of a sudden. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I think now that we see each other's homes and things, it seems like we've invited people over for dinner sort of thing. I think it does bring a different social aspect in breaking down a barrier of us just being seen in our context at work, or being seen as a more whole person, and maybe businesses are seen differently as well. Look, it's been great to have a quick chat with you and to think about how the future might look for you, and for all of us. Hopefully, we also see the same sort of positiveness that you're reflecting. So good luck to you. We hope to see you again back in one of these days soon. And until then, good luck.
Thanks very much, Omar.
Yes,
this is another edition of iAccelerate Remote, and so we hope to see you again for the next one. Thank you.